Hey, it's Ryan Gillard here at Real Broker, your Calgary Realtor, and today I'm on location in Parkhill. I was just showing a home and I thought maybe I'll make a neighborhood video as well. One of the most scenic neighborhoods in the inner city, one of my favorites, and in this video I'll let you know all the great things about Parkhill. Let's get right into it. And before we get into it, I do have some free resources for you. If you do want the City of Calgary's bio on Parkhill, it's quite detailed. You can find that in the written description. And I've also got a buying guide, a seller's guide, and a relocation guide, all free for download. So feel free to check them out. All right, let's get rolling. And I'll start off with the map overview. So here's downtown Calgary. And if we just go south of the downtown, we'll come across Parkhill over here, not too far from the city center. And if I pull up the other map, it's a little bit easier to see. So the downtown right over here. And if we zoom in on the Stanley Park area, where are we here? Over here. We'll come across Parkhill. So the boundaries are everything in between 45th Avenue to McLeod Trail to Mission Road. And then all of this in here, this is all Parkhill. Not a very big neighborhood. You can probably walk across it in 10 minutes. But I think it's a very cool neighborhood. And I think this neighborhood is one of the more scenic neighborhoods in Calgary. It's probably in the top 10 in terms of views of the valley and the city. And there are some excellent vantage points. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more here. So we've got this street right here, 33rd Avenue. These homes that are on this street are some of the nicest in the city. You can find homes here $2-3 million. And the reason why it's so expensive, there's a bit of a cliff right here. And the homes that are on this street have amazing views of the downtown skyline. And there are other areas of this neighborhood that have excellent views as well. So it's not just on 33rd Avenue. As the name suggests, Parkhill, this is a very hilly part of Calgary, and all of the homes that are kind of close to this big green section are on a cliff overlooking the Elbow River Valley, and they have excellent views as well. So all the homes here, everything that's kind of facing this green section, they've got great views. So this is definitely one of the more scenic parts of the city. And point number 2, I think Parkhill has an excellent location. It's just close to everything. So from Parkhill to get to downtown, you would just take Mission Road to 4th Street, and you can connect right into downtown. That might take you like 10 minutes. It's not that difficult or time-consuming. So you can actually walk to downtown from Parkhill if you really want to. It might be like a half an hour walk. And another great thing about Parkhill is that it's walking distance to Mission and 4th Street and also to 17th Avenue. It'll be a good walk. It might be 15-20 minutes, but it's not that far away. And in Mission, you've got all the trendy bars, cafes, and the dining options along 4th Street. Very nice neighborhood, very walkable. You got grocery stores, shops, fitness centers, and services like that, and it's not that far away. So easy access to downtown. You've got easy access to transit. So if I zoom in just a little bit here, I believe this is the 39th, is it Street or Avenue C train stop right here, and Parkhill gives this neighborhood, so it's a 5-minute walk. And not only do you have easy access to downtown, this part of Calgary right over here is a giant industrial area. And there's lots of jobs and factories and warehouses, strip malls and stuff like that. So you might be working in this area as well. And if you're living in Parkhill, very easy commute. And you've also got easy access to McLeod Trail. That's this yellow road that you see right here. It starts in downtown Calgary and it will take you all the way out of the city limits in the south. And all along McLeod Trail, you've got shops, services, grocery stores, bars, restaurants. It's a very convenient road, and you can just jump onto a few of these side roads and get onto McLeod Trail from Parkhill. Very easy. You've got easy access to Chinook Centre right over here. This is the largest shopping mall in Calgary, and it's actually walking distance from Parkhill, but if you're driving, maybe it's like 5 minutes. And the next point, what I think is one of the better reasons to live in Parkhill, it's great for outdoors lovers and nature lovers. If you're living here, you can see this giant green patch of land. All along this, you have the river, you've got running trails, biking trails, you've got an elevated position overlooking the valley. You'll see people walking their dogs, cycling, and it overlooks the Stanley Park, which you can see right here. This is one of the better parks in the city. You've got a baseball diamond, you've got an outdoor pool, I believe there's like a lawn bowling area, fire pits and stuff like that. I made a video about Alboya, which is the adjacent community, about a month or so back, and you can find that video by clicking the link. And in this video, I go over Stanley Park at the height of the summertime. It's quite nice. And if you're living in Parkhill, you've got easy access to all of this. It's walking distance. And next up, let's talk about real estate. And this is a bit of a mixed bag neighborhood in terms of product type. In this part of Calgary, it's mostly single-family homes, a lot of luxury single-family homes, but I find Parkhill, you get a good mixture of everything. And so the total residential price here is $852,200, which is quite pricey. The average price for a detached home, $1.096 million. Semi-detached, $1.1 million. And you might be asking, why is it roughly the same price for a single family and a duplex? I think lots of these duplexes are fairly new. That's why they seem expensive. But you can find homes, single family detached homes in this neighborhood for like $3 million. So it can get quite pricey in here. There are townhouses as well, average price $601,300. And there actually are some condos as well. $442,500 is the average price. And I'll just briefly go through the benchmark properties. So this is kind of like the most common type of property per product type. So for single family homes, we've got one-story homes, bungalows, and we have two-story properties. The average price of a bungalow, $808,400. For a two-story, $1.228 million. Some of these two stories are fairly new. Like I just saw one the other day, it sold for $1.2 million. It was within 2015, I believe. And the share of total residential, 12% are bungalows, 26% are two stories. If we go to duplexes, average price $1.1 million, built in 2002. And they account for 17% of the total product type. Townhouses, average price $601,000. They account for 8% of all the properties here. And apartments, there's actually quite a few apartments in Parkhill. More so, they're closer to McLeod Trail. And average price $442,500. And the share is 29% of all of the product type. I'm just going to pull the map up here just to give you a sense of the pricing in this neighborhood. I'm just going to zoom in slightly. So this 33rd Avenue right here, I talked about this earlier. This is where there's a cliff and these homes are fronting onto it with excellent views. You can see your price $2.5 million, $2.7 million. You got a bunch of 1.2, 1.2, 900. There's one here, 1.06, 1.27, 2.661 million, 3 million. So this is the most expensive part right here. The homes that are on these ridges, very pricey. In here, it's more reasonable. You got one for 656, 1.2, 520, 720. I find this part of Parkhill can be a bit busier. There's only a few roads to get into this neighborhood, so I find Parkhill Street can be busy. And then you've got some more of your 2.5 million, again, overlooking the ridge, can be quite expensive. And I'll just briefly show you this property right here. This one sold for $3.050 million, 1.5 story, built in 2009, 4,700 square feet. And I'll just show you some of the photos here. Very interesting design. Pretty cool flooring and lighting. And you can kind of see out the window here this valley. Excellent views. Very cool kitchen. Definitely a unique property. And next up, I'll just talk about some of the negatives about living in Parkhill. Now, there's not too many, but I'll just start off with pricing. This is an above-average neighborhood in terms of pricing. It can be expensive. You know, some of these properties, $1.5 million to $3 million. So that's not for everyone. That's a very exclusive part of the city. So that's a negative, that it is quite expensive, but it is also very nice. My biggest gripe about this neighborhood is I can find it a bit confusing to get around. If you're not in this neighborhood all that often, and you try to cut through it or drive through it, you can get yourself a bit lost. Some of these roads don't connect. There's like barricades in some of these roads. Some are one-ways, and you might find yourself backtracking to get out of this neighborhood. And there's actually not that many roads into Parkhill as well. You've got Mission Road, and I think you've got 42nd and 45th way down here. And my next negative is I find some of the street parking is getting quite limited. It's getting very busy in areas like Parkhill Street. There's a new condo complex that was built here, and my hunch is that many of the residents are actually parking on Parkhill Street. I was just showing a home here the other day, and there was like nowhere to park, which is rare for being in a suburban community like this. So parking can be an issue, and it's actually quite busy right now. There's new construction happening over here, so I find it can be a bit busy, a bit noisy with the construction, and parking is becoming a bit more difficult. Only in parts of this neighborhood. If you're like over here or down here, parking's not bad, but there are pockets that do have kind of annoying parking situations. But that's about it. There's not too much to gripe about for Parkhill. I think it's one of the cooler neighborhoods in the city. Well, there you have it. That's my rundown of Parkhill. And again, if you are thinking about making a move, buying, selling, or relocating, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. I'd love to help you out, and I will see you on the next video.